Let me tell you something that most people will never hear in their lifetime. Success is not a secret. It's a system, a formula, a way of thinking. And if you're hearing my voice right now, you're not here by accident. You were guided here because deep down, there's something more for you, more than bills, more than just getting by, more than the same tired routine. Now I want you to take a deep breath and listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you can transform your life, not in a year, not in 5 years, but in the moment you accept it as truth. I'm not just talking about motivation. I'm talking about a paradigm shift, a shift in your thinking, a shift in the way you see yourself. You see, you were not born to struggle. You were not born to settle. You were designed with infinite potential. But what holds you back is not the world, it's your programming. It's the silent beliefs passed on from people who never knew what was possible. School taught you how to memorize facts, but it didn't teach you how to think. It didn't teach you how to use your mind. And that's where your freedom begins. You've got to understand something. The mind is not just an organ. It's a mechanism, a tool, a magnet. And right now, it's attracting everything that aligns with the way you see yourself. If you think like the 99%, you'll live like the 99%. But if you learn how to think like the 1%, everything changes. Let's talk about decision. Because everything begins with a decision. Wealth begins with a decision. Health begins with a decision. Freedom begins with a decision. The problem is most people don't make real decisions. They hesitate. They wait. They look for approval. But the 1%, they decide, and then they figure out. You were given higher faculties: imagination, will, perception, memory, intuition, and reason. And yet most people never use them. They use their senses. They see their current reality and think that's all there is. But the truth, your current reality is nothing more than the result of your past thinking. If you want to change your life, you don't change the world, you change you. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about fear. Fear is not real. It's a mental construct, an illusion built on ignorance. You weren't born with fear. You were taught fear, taught to play small, taught not to dream too big. But let me ask you something. When's the last time fear paid your bills? When's the last time fear got you your dream life? It doesn't. It won't. And it never will. The truth is, every time you feel fear, you're standing at the edge of growth. And you've got two choices: step forward into faith or retreat back into comfort. But understand, comfort will never make you rich. Comfort will never build your dream. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. This is why you've got to act in spite of fear. Feel it and move anyway. That's courage. And courage is the secret ingredient to freedom. Now let's touch on universal laws. Because the universe is not chaotic. It's ordered, governed by law. Just like gravity, there are laws of abundance, laws of vibration, laws of cause and effect. And the law says like attracts like. So if you're thinking about lack, if you're vibrating in fear, if you're speaking limitation, you're attracting more of the same. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So you've got to change the frequency of your thinking. Raise your vibration. Speak abundance. Visualize freedom. Believe in the unseen. And the unseen becomes seen. Now I want you to imagine your life 5 years from now. Not the life you're settling for, but the life you truly desire. What do you see? Who are you with? What do you feel? That image, that's not a fantasy. That's a preview. That's your soul reminding you of what's possible. But you must persist. Success is not for the lucky. It's for the relentless. The ones who keep going when it's hard. The ones who get up after failure. The ones who say, I will not stop until my vision becomes real. You've got to understand. Your thoughts create your reality. Your mind is your workshop. What you build in your mind, you will build in your life. That's not height. That's law. If you're still listening to this, I want you to make a commitment. Not to me, but to yourself. Commit to the vision. Commit to growth. Commit to thinking differently. Because the moment you do, the universe begins to shift. People, ideas, opportunities, they begin to appear. And before I wrap this part up, let me say this. If you're getting value from this message, don't keep it to yourself. This channel is a tool, a resource, a place where we share the truth that schools won't teach you. If you want to keep your mind aligned with higher thought, with wealth, with purpose, Subscribe now. Turn on the bell. Because every video, every word, every message is here to help you win. Not just exist, but live full. Stay tuned for part 2. Because we're going even deeper. Now let's go further. If you're truly ready to step into the life you've always imagined, you need to grasp something very few people will ever understand. Your self-image controls your entire world. I'm not talking about the clothes you wear or the way you look in the mirror. I'm talking about the internal picture you carry of who you believe you are. Let me say this again. You can never outperform your self-image. You may try. You may hustle. You may grind. But unless the image inside matches the life you want on the outside, your results will always be temporary. That's why people lose weight and gain it back. That's why they make money and lose it again. They try to change the results without ever changing the cause. And the cause is in the mind. The mind is a powerful place. And most people are running an outdated operating system, installed by parents, teachers, society. You are told to play safe, get a job, fit in, don't take risks. And now you wonder why you feel stuck. Let me be direct. You were programmed for mediocrity, but you were born for greatness. Reprogramming begins with awareness. Awareness that you are not your thoughts. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are the observer, the creator, the director of your life. But you've got to take the pen and write a new script. One based on truth, not fear. One based on vision, not limitation. Every wealthy person I've ever studied, from Rockefeller to Jobs, to Oprah, they all had one thing in common: clarity of vision. They saw it before it existed. They believed in it when no one else could. They acted like it was already real. That's the power of imagination. But here's the problem: most people use their imagination against themselves. They imagine what could go wrong. They imagine failure. They imagine people laughing at them. That's toxic visualization. And if you keep picturing defeat, don't be surprised when life hands it to you. So let's reverse it. Every day I want you to see yourself winning. I want you to close your eyes and feel the joy of achieving your goal. Not just once, but repeatedly. Because the subconscious mind learns through repetition. The more you impress a new idea, the more it becomes real to you. Now let's talk discipline. Discipline is the bridge between ideas and results. Everyone has dreams. But dreams without discipline are just wishes. What separates the successful from the average is the ability to act consistently, especially when motivation fades. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's skipping the distraction to build your future. It's doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. That's what creates momentum. And once momentum kicks in, that's when the universe starts responding. And make no mistake, the universe does respond. That's the law of cause and effect. What you put out always comes back. You can't plant corn and harvest apples. You can't sow doubt and reap success. The law is precise. And when you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your vision, the results must follow. Not maybe, must. Now we need to discuss intuition. Your intuition is not just a feeling. It's a form of divine guidance. It's your internal GPS. But most people ignore it. They rationalize it away. That doesn't make sense. What if I'm wrong? But intuition is rarely wrong. It's your connection to something great. The more you quiet the noise, the more clearly you'll hear it. Some of the greatest decisions in my life didn't come from logic. They came from a gut knowing. A feeling I couldn't explain. And every time I followed it, I was led to something powerful. Listen to your intuition. Train it, strengthen it, trust it. Let's go even deeper. Let's talk persistence, because nothing replaces persistence. Talent won't. Intelligence won't. Even opportunity won't. If you quit too soon, most people give up inches before the gold. They face a little resistance and retreat, but every breakthrough has a breaking point. If you push past it, you win. If you pull back, you repeat. Your dream is going to test you. Life is going to throw obstacles. That's part of the process. But let me tell you something. Obstacles are not stop signs. They're growth signs. They're invitations to rise. The greater the vision, the greater the resistance. That's the law. And if you're thinking, but Bob, it's hard. Yes, it is. But so is staying broke. So is living below your potential. So is regretting the life you never built. You choose your heart. Here's something else nobody talks about. Your environment matters. Who you surround yourself with matters. You cannot keep your mind elevated while your circle is dragging you down. You need to guard your space, like your life depends on it. Because it does. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who believe in you, who are walking in the direction you want to go. If you don't have those people yet, that's okay. Books can be your mentors. Videos like this can be your allies. Your tribe will come as you grow. And this channel is here for you, to lift you, to remind you, to help you rewire your thoughts, and reinforce your vision. If this message is shifting something inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it, and most importantly, subscribe. Because every video is a seed, and the more you plant, the more you'll grow. We're not done. There's one more part to this message, and in that final section I'm going to share what most people never learn. The secret to locking in your new identity, creating quantum leaps in your results, and never going back to your old life. Stick with me, because part 3 is where it all comes together. Let's bring it home. Everything you've heard so far has been pointing you toward one thing: transformation. Not surface level change, not short-term motivation. I'm talking about rebuilding the foundation of who you believe you are, so you can create a life that's not just successful but aligned, expansive, abundant, and free. You see, the final step is about identity. It's about locking in the new you, because it's one thing to start waking up earlier, reading books, visualizing success, but unless you become the version of yourself who naturally does those things, your old paradigms will pull you right back down. Let me explain it this way. If you took a thermostat and set it to 72 degrees, and the room got colder, the thermostat would kick in to heat the space back up. Same thing if it got too hot, the thermostat cools it down. That's your internal self-image. That's your identity. You will always return to what you believe you deserve. So if your income goes up but your self-worth doesn't, you'll find a way to sabotage it. If you lose weight but you still believe you're unhealthy, you'll fall back into old patterns. This is why people experience yo-yo results. Not because they're weak, but because their subconscious thermostat was never changed. So how do we lock in the new identity? You start acting as if, not pretending. Embodying. What does the wealthy version of you do every day? What does the confident version say, feel, believe? What does the spiritually aligned, focused, persistent version of you look like in thought and action? Most people are waiting to feel successful before they act successful, but that's backward. You must act first, and the feeling will follow. You move into the frequency of the life you want. Not tomorrow, now, because everything you want already exists on a specific frequency, and your only job is to match it. You do that with your thoughts, you do it with your energy, you do it with the way you speak, and you do it by deciding, this is who I am now. You don't need to hustle your way to it. You need to align your way into it. That's the power of being. Now, let's go even deeper. Let's talk quantum leaps. Most people think success is about incremental progress, slow and steady, step by step. But I'm here to tell you, your life can change in an instant when you shift your belief and your identity. One decision, one moment of clarity, one step in alignment with your true power, and the universe begins to rearrange its. I've seen people go from broke to wealthy in months. I've seen people leave toxic jobs, heal from illness, start world-changing businesses, not because they worked hard, but because they stopped playing small. They stepped into the truth of who they are. The truth is this: you are limitless, not metaphorically. Literally, you are connected to the same power that spins this planet and beats your heart. That power does not want you broke. It does not want you stuck. It wants you expansive. It wants you abundant, because when you thrive, you inspire others to do the same, and that is how we change the world. But here's the key. You've got to decide, not try, not hope. Decide. That word means to cut off all other options. When you decide to live a wealthy life, truly decide, everything starts to shift. But you must back that decision with action, with persistence, with faith. And faith is seeing the invisible. It's believing when your senses say it's not real yet. Faith is the activator of the unseen. When you combine faith with clear intention and unwavering persistence, the universe must yield.
This is the universal law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy moves into form, through form and back into energy. That's how manifestation works. Your thoughts become things. Your feelings magnetize those thoughts, and your actions crystallize them into form. Now listen carefully. If you're hearing this, and something inside you is waking up, that's not an accident. You were meant to hear. You were drawn to this message because you're ready to rise. This isn't just another motivational video. This is a turning point. From this moment forward, you are not going back. You are no longer entertaining old stories. You are no longer feeding your fear. You are no longer living as the echo of who you used to be. From today forward, you are a deliberate creator. You think on purpose. You act with intention. You feel into your vision every single day. You don't wait for proof. You become the proof. And every day, you return to this frequency. You reinforce it. You listen to messages like this. You protect your mind like gold. You build the habits. You take the steps. You refuse to settle. And you rise higher. I believe in you, not because I've met you, but because I know what lives inside you. The same potential that lived in me when I was broken, lost, and confused lives in you. The same power that changed my life can change yours, but only if you step into it. And if this message has resonated, subscribe to this channel. Not for me, for you. Because every time you come back here, you're reminded of the truth. You're fed. You're elevated. This isn't just a video. It's a movement. It's a revolution of the mind, and you are part of it. Now go, decide who you are, and live like it. Because the life you want is already yours.